Okay, as promised, I'm going to do a better example of how to do a reading quiz. And this can apply whether you are in class or doing this quiz out of class. So this is how this will work. So you'll have the quiz before you in class, or if it's out of class, you'll just go over to the in-class readings assignment, which are right here, and they'll be, if they're ones that I want you to do out of class, you'll see a hyperlink and then this little guy with the magnifying glass, so you can actually view it there, or you can download them and pull them up and use them even for a template for your quiz if you want. So number one, you need to answer A, B, or C. And the question that you're answering is, or the statement that you're saying A, B, or C to is, I read the reading assignment assigned for today thoroughly, and I digested it. So I'm going to use the metaphor of consuming the reading. So what I consider reading thoroughly is reading through the document, maybe making some annotation notes, looking through the pictures and the captions that are underneath it, if there are any marginal notes that the author has made or any writing prompts that they do, I consider doing them or at least read through them. And that's what I consider reading thoroughly. You'll get better as you read. You'll be able to read more thoroughly as we continue throughout the semester. So if you just read through them, that's good for the start, but later on you'll need to consume it a little bit better so that I can write about what I read or ate. So A is just a joke. I put it in there for kicks and giggles. Yes, I'm lying, no credit. So never choose that one, please. Never, ever choose that one, because if you put it there, then I'll start to wonder about our relationship here, about you lying to me. Anyway, no, half credit for honesty. And then this next part is for you. You'll say, I'll catch up by next class. This means that you promise to read the text that you didn't read by next class. Even though you'll only be receiving half credit for doing so, even though you won't be able to submit a quiz, replying to this, I just want you to be intellectually on par or at the same level as everybody else, so that when we reference the text, you won't be like, huh? What are they talking about? Because I don't know about you, but when I have that happen to me in class, I feel really stupid that everyone knows what the teacher's talking about or the other student is talking about, and I don't. And then finally, C. Yes, I can read. Yes, I read them and I can write about them. So only if you answered C above may you answer one or more of the following questions. You're going to do 5 minutes of free writing. For things where I have explanation essays or examples, I'd like you to cite the title of the essays you read in your answer. So you'll say, in this essay called, what was the one that I was thinking of? Potato Chips and Stars. And then go on with the rest of it. And please also put that, if you can, in the above in your title when you do your quiz, just so that I know which ones you're referencing, you're talking about. Now there's two that are always going to be the same for every quiz, no matter how many times you do it. And that's number A and B of number 2. Everything else below it will be specific to that particular reading. So I'm just going to read those 2. And then if you're doing this online, after I read those 2, go ahead and pause it, this video, read through the other questions, and then set your timer on your phone or on some other timer for 5 minutes and do your reading quiz after reading all the questions. Okay, so the first one is, always will be, what's one significant thing did you derive or chew from the reading assignment that is due today? Or cite any one thing from the reading that puzzled you or contradicted what you thought you knew. Okay, so yes, I said cite. That means you actually can go back and review the text that you read, okay? Now you don't, in an in-class assignment, 5 minutes is not going to be enough for you to read the entire text, so I feel pretty comfortable in this. So for example, one student, she talked about when she went through the rhetorical situation, she didn't realize that even in a narrative, you're going to have a certain stance. So that was something that she didn't know before. Okay, so then C through whatever is just going to be specific to the quiz. So I'm going to have you, if you're doing this online, pause the video now, read through the rest of the questions that are for that particular quiz, set your timer for 5 minutes. and then unpause after 5 minutes. Okay, once you've finished writing for 5 minutes, and remember, you can do more than one. If you finish with one before the 5 minutes is over, you can always do more. Don't just sit there and stare into the space after you've done one. You'll submit this online above, and you can just keep resubmitting to the same place for all of the reading quizzes. They stack on each other like pancakes, and I can see them all in the grading. So don't worry about that. I'll briefly show you what I'm talking about right here. So I submitted a whole bunch. I think I submitted like 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I could see all of the ones that I've submitted. And they will warn me that it's not the most recent submission, but I've got all of the submissions that I made. So there it is.